we can also prove that Ellery's and Bernard E. LaChance and Perlita Jones, Quinn Wands, and like DJ Dave Balamorad and let's see, Steve Jones and Doug King's premises is like the same. Perlita's premise is the same, like Bernard's. Like the carny life is the only life, or the ghetto life is the only life, or the LGBT life's the only life. So that's another way to prove that Joe and all them do is stole everybody's shit and then pretend it was all theirs in the first place. Like I said, Joe, Perlita's whole war is against Kimberly and Bailey and a few other girls, the Schwartzes, and you can just tell. And that's why she has her little Negro organizations that are running around now and lie. So here's one way, kids, the Team Bedbugs, the whispering faggot of Fairmount Joe and, the barnyard rapist, the McDonald's rapist, all their lies, the chair rapist, the blue room rapist. What you could do, though, like pest control, so Terry and them like to cover up that they're like super massive faggot thieves and liars and rapists in the first place. Like pest control used the bedbug story to mark all of Perlita's fatties and their liars on a map. Like the CDC, get a hold of like Terminex and stuff like that, like those commercials, because it's basically the same thing. And then you could put a pin mark, like pin the tail on the donkey, on like Don Wiley and Charles T. Ellery and like the churchy fatty boy of Ford and Perlita Quinn Wands, and you can see the trail as Ellery and Joe's lie comes down the Easy Zombies from Michigan down, and then you can see the trail of the pointed nose going back the other direction, like their seesaw thing. And so, Perlita, if you're going to take something and lie consistently for your war, like I said, if you're going to be a pompous dictator who's telling everybody else to do, there are ways to get it to basically do your own work and then reveal yourself. So, see, Charles D. Ellery, his whole premise was crab louse, and then they spread like bed lice on everybody and shit, and going after Praga Khan all the way. So you can make pin marks all through the states, all the way to Belgium, that how Charles T. Ellery blamed Lords of Acid, and then they come back and they're like back and forth, and then, Joe and his all-American lie with the El Cortez and all that reveals itself to where, like I said, it basically proves that GPS Anklet Paso Robo Minister Rapist Knight is nothing but a thieving, conniving faggot. And like D61 Oyster Cracker Man, that's why they have their noses pointed up in the air with the Negro, so you can see their information network as they try to switch back and forth, trying to claim to be the gods of Israel with Elton and all them. But there's another pin mark, so we can show Perlita's little ghetto life. And so if you want a better, healthier life, you want to avoid the Bernardi LaChance Carney life and Perlita Jones Quinn Wands ghetto life, and then the group of rainbow LGBT community fags. And then we can, if you want a better life, avoid the all-American Red Randy and the Red Gordon Area 138 and the GPS Anklet, And then if you want a better life, you don't want to take military command from Charles T. Ellery, Harry J. Race, and Bernard LaChance, and Joe Zillig and Jim Riley, and put pins there. And then as they pretend to own and hover over everybody with their stolen property and stuff, everybody can move around. See, Joe, like I said, I could prove that your whole attack is on Carl McBride stealing his stuff because you came up as a brown piece of shit turd after you raped the golden child down south with Ellery. And that you also did the same thing up in Michigan, that the blue rape. And, it's all Joe Zillig and his faggottory rape against me, my father, and, Ron Miller and Mel Kobe and, all the people who probably had a lot better idea than Joe Zillig. So, Joe, if you want to be Jehovah God with Perlita Jones Quinn Wands and the rapist boy DJ Dave and his, meth, heroin, and weed with Steve Jones and Doug King and all that, we get it all squared up on who those who are claiming to be the Masonic leader, cowboy country and Western Karen, and all that stuff. And you guys can sit there and try to run the world while everybody else evolves. Everybody knows your little social network of bullshit and the fatties that lie, and then you guys can evolve your little set. But generally, that type of atheism that you follow, Perlita with Ellery in that group, its own evolutionary Darwinism basically says it's going to fail. So we just tell the military and police and the firefighters and the people who work hard to protect you all to set up another of their own secret base and don't tell anybody about it. So they actually get to build their real paradise and like save their people with the Coast Guard and all that, while you guys pretend to run the earth with Joe Zillig with all of his stolen junk.